Hello everyone, today I'm here in Charlotte, North Carolina on Pineville Matthews Road at the Chuck E. Cheese Legacy store that has the 3-stage. It's the last 3-stage in the world and they've made some changes to it since my last visit. I made a video at the grand reopening back in July, however I was here in January. However, I decided not to post that video because it was very soon outdated due to the changes they've made, which I'm really excited to see. So let's go in there and check this store out. Alright guys, I'll never get tired of saying this. Let's start this tour off right here in the showroom. So this is the right wall. The 3-stage is right over here, and then on the right hand side they have the video wall. So if you're looking this direction, it just looks like a traditional 2.0 remodel. There's 2 character posters on that side, 2 on that side, and then they threw Jasper over here on this corner here because they ran out of room. And then they have the 2021 model dance floor right here in the center, and it is oriented facing the video wall, not the stage, and it has the spaceship graphics. The dance floor is held up pretty well. I see one discoloration square right here, but other than that, it still looks like it's in good shape. Now, in the showroom on both sides of the dance floor, they have the 2.0 benches and tables. They still have napkin dispensers here in the showroom. And then on this side of the 3-stage, they have more, and then they have the Jasper as I showed, and then they have the hangout piece as well. Here's the 3-stage. Of course, the biggest thing, which I'm sure everybody knows by now, is that curtains are operational. So you cannot look at the characters when the show is not performing. They have 2 program segments in there per show tape. I believe right now for Evergreen, it is Dream Big and I Love Sparkles are the 2 songs that are programmed, and then they can queue others up, but those are the 2. And then also over here, we have the old Riser Room sign on this door here. That's one of the very few pieces of old signage in the store other than the Retro Room, which you'll see in a minute. They got the new TVs in the store except for the 2 LGs here by the stage. I'm surprised because Samsung is now their official television partner, and I'm surprised they didn't replace these, but they did not. Hicksville didn't get new TVs here either. However, they did replace that one. That's to the right of Chucky, but I've seen that before. It was replaced before the grand reopening. And then behind the showroom, they have the 2 sets of 2.0 high-top tables and chairs, and that takes you right into the game room here. They have the kiddie ride area in another part of the store, which we will see later. They just go right into the regular game room here. And then on the right side of the showroom as well, they have the Rockstar Ticket Blaster. They got this during 2.0. It has the Rockstar back and top. So that's good. And then they have the newer version of the 2.0 carpet in the store, so they got that as well. To the left of the showroom here, they have the restrooms hallway. So they have the restroom sign. There's not enough room to mount it on the wall, so they have it hanging. And then they just have generic men's and women's 2.0 signs down this hallway. And then at the end, they have the emergency exit only sign, and then another one of the old signage, the electrical and fire panel room sign as well. Here in the men's bathroom, they have the employee sign for washing hands, this sign for the kids for washing hands, this also the sticker. They have a lot, this is from the health department. They have a lot of stickers about that. Then they also have a caution wet floor sign down there. And then that is it for that. So now let's go watch the show. We'll see how they look, and then we'll go through the rest of the store. All right, guys, it is time. Here we go, please. Yep, this is it.
Kid I knew. He just decided he didn't want to go to school anymore. All he wanted to do was build a robot, which sounds pretty cool, but there's much more to the story. Listen up, I'll tell you about this kid that said, I am through, no longer am I attending this place called school. It's a waste of my time and it makes me sick. I've had enough reading, writing, and arithmetic. His parents said, no, you've got to learn. Grow big, get a job, and green you earn. They'd scratch their heads, they'd get him not. But all he wants to do is build a rocket robot. To build a rocket robot would be totally rad. Guitars, microchips, and mechanical parts. Lasers for the eyes and a metronome heart. Just plug him in and he'll play all night. This rock and roll spot will be out of sight. He told his mom and dad, you don't understand. Nothing is cooler than a robot in a band.
Man, that sounds futuristic. A robot on stage singing?
But the boy has to go
gonna tell you the rest of the story. But first, it's time for a robot dance break! Science and math must be your scene, cause you'll have to study hard to build a musical machine. The kid realized he didn't think this through. Back to school to make his dream come true. So he hit the books, got down to biz to learn everything he can so he can build his.
It feels so good to see that again, guys. Oh, it's such a great show. This is definitely the best condition I've seen it so far. First, the curtains look awesome. It really adds a lot to the show. Now, when I was here last time in January in the video I didn't post, I had said how I didn't really care about the curtains not working because you know how little they perform. It's nice to see the stage open and you know you can look at the characters, and I still feel that way to an extent. Like I wish they performed more like in the show tape. I wish more songs were programmed in. However, the curtains just feel so nostalgic. Like this is how it was meant to be. You know, curtains haven't worked on the stages since 2005. Like that's when CEC stopped programming the curtains into new songs before the legacy stores happened. At least for the CEC stages and 3 stages. Studio C, you know, they brought that back, and you know that was an option. But for the Munch's Make Believe Band, it was not. Another thing I noticed definitely is Munch and Pasquale. They adjusted the flows, so the arm movements are a lot better. They're not like full out, like they didn't go all the way. They kind of split the difference between how they were and how they should be. You know, they kind of went in the middle. I guess that's to preserve the mechanisms and stuff so it doesn't wear out. So yeah, I'm really happy with the show so far. I'm sure I'll see a couple more songs at least, but so far my first impressions are very good. One thing definitely is that the Gemini light is still missing up here. They removed it at some point, it probably broke or whatever, and they haven't gotten a new one. You know, you think that Chuck E. Cheese has removed so many of these stages, you think they'd have extras that they could give. Last time I was here in January, they had Christmas lights strung all over the showroom that kind of replaced that, but they did take those down. That was not a permanent addition, so now there's just nothing, and I really hope they you know, add something back. There's the outlet, it's empty. A couple other things about the stage, that's Beach Bear's guitar spotlight right there. They have the earlier original 1990 wink right there. It still says "In Pizza We Trust." It used to have the red and white stripes, but when they restored the stage, that got taken off, so it says "In Pizza We Trust," and that's still how it is. And they put the "In Pizza We Trust" slogan on the posters for the Pineville grand reopening, so that was nice. They have the green valance right here. I will put the location that came from in text right here. That's not original to Pineville. And then these curtains are from Tallahassee, Florida. So I'm glad they got those working, and it's nice to see, you know, pieces from other stores. Chuck also has the Cool Chuck outfit, which you saw when they were performing. He had the Avenger outfit at the grand reopening and for the first few months of the Legacy store, and then they changed it. They also still have the 2010 carpet on the stage. They did not recarpet the stage. That's the carpet they had in the store before 2.0. And of course, Pizza Cam is over here. He is from Laurel, Maryland store. When they removed that 3 stage, they sent all of the animatronics to SPT, and then they brought him here. And the box is from Madison, Tennessee, so they're not the same. And another thing about the prop characters is that all 3 of them, Building, Moon, and Pizza Cam, all got their masks repainted at some point. The Building is the only one that I haven't seen so far. He didn't perform during Dream Big, but he got his mask repainted. Since the last time I was here, I have seen Moon and Pizza Cam's repaints already. They were there. my last visit. My favorite little thing about the stage right now is Pasquale's brick wall. The bricks are starting to separate a little bit, and if you look closely, you can see the blue in between the bricks. That was Billy Bob's backdrop behind Smitty's, and then later the Showbiz Pizza Campground. They had the back wall of the stage painted blue, and they didn't repaint it during concept unification, so you can still see that blue peeking through, which I think is awesome. So there's a couple other things about the stage to note, and yeah, now we just gotta wait for them to turn on again. All right, until we get another performance, let's do a tour of the rest of the store, the game room, the kiddie ride area, and the retro zone. So we're gonna start off here to the right of the Ticket Blaster. We have the TMNT, then we have Launch Code after that, then we have Sideshow, and Water Blast, Drop It, Beanbag Toss, and 5 Alley Roller Classics with marquee, and they have 2.0 stripes painted back here along this wall. Now let's go through the middle here. We'll come back to the side wall. Then they have a SpongeBob right here, which is token games. They still have token games here at Pineville. Here's another token game, Winner's Toggle. They have the Chuck E. Cheese's Sketchbook. And they have H2 Overdrive and Terminator Salvation and tons of tickets. And then another token game, we have Soccer Fortune. And then it's also worth noting that up here where the showroom walls used to be, this outline, they have the happy birthday word mark up there. And then moving on over here, we have Lumberjack and Super Monkey Ball Ticket Blitz. And then we have Sonic Blast Ball and Frogger. Cruisin' Blast. On this side of that, we have MotoGP. And then over here in this cluster, there's Red Hot, and this is the Avenger version. And there's Kooky Carnival, which is so another token game. They have plenty here at Pineville. Then we have Mega Blaster and Choppy Wood on this side. Roll for Gold right here. Black Hole and Harpoon Lagoon. Then they have Big Bass Wheel Pro, and on this side they have FGTV Out of Time. Temple Run, and then on this side of that there's Wonderland. Then on this side of Alley Rollers here to end this wall, they have NBA Hoops, Big Win Super Spin, Jumpin' Fantasy, and Mad Wave Motion Theater. They have Monster Drop right here, and it's the 500 ticket bonus, and this one has 29 bonus balls, so I'm gonna have to try to get those later. That's a lot of bonus balls and a big jackpot too. Then they have Luigi's Mansion Arcade, and right over here they have Crazy Tower. After Crazy Tower, they have Halo Fire Team Raven, a 2.0 TV ring up there, SpongeBob Ticket Coaster, Snow Cross, Avengers Coin Pusher, Fast and Furious Supercars, Treasure Quest, Jet Rider, and Spinner Frenzy. Sea Wolf on that side of Avengers, Polar Slide and Doodle Jump, Spider-Bot, Crab Rush, and Rainbow. And then here on the front windows, they have something that's almost as rare as the 2-stage. New booths in 2024. This is not something they did very much in 2024. They got really cheap and kept the old booths in most of the 2024 remodels. However, they kept them here, which shows you that this store does good business if they did that. Then they have All You Can Play with Chuck E. Silhouette. They have the Lit Crown molding, and they have the Chuck E. Cheese word mark here, and then there's the entrance right there. They also have the Where a Kid Can Be a Kid word mark up there, and then moving down into here, this is the expansion part of the store, and this is where they moved the kiddie ride area during 2.0. They have another 2.0 TV ring up there. And then as for kiddie games, they have Cheeky Monkey Football, Giraffe Play, Bike Rally, Astro Invasion, and Dog Pounder. They have an emergency exit right here. Arca, the Carousel, Hammer 2, the Hot Cocoa Spinner, a couple more booths here. Then they have the Trampoline Zone with 3 pieces, Munch, Bella, and Chucky. Then they have the Chuck E. Cheese Blue Race Car and Barney, Clifford, Minions, and finally they have Photo Ride, and it looks like it's Rockstar all over. Rockstar, yep. And then they have the Avenger buttons for everybody except Chucky. And then over here to the left of the Trampoline Zone, they have 2 more sets of tables. And then they have the skee ball piece right there and another emergency exit sign right there. And that is it for games in Pineville. All right, now resetting back here in the showroom, let's go to the left-hand side and look at everything. We already saw the bathroom hallway and then the hangout piece, and then to the left of that, we have the retro room. Now, this is something that they added during 2.0 because Pineville's a legacy store. They got a bunch of memorabilia, stuff that was in Pineville previously, and then stuff from SPT and new stuff they made to put in this room, and they have a nice collection here. Some of it's a little random, but for the most part, it's a nice collection. Nice to see them recognize their history in some way. They have this Kid Check jersey right here, or vest, Kid Check vest, I should say, and an old thing from the podium. They have that statue up there. Then they have the Where a Kid Can Be a Kid rub token for good luck that used to be out in the lobby before 2.0. They have the Tokens Over Time collection. My gripe with this is that they have Showbiz listed as 1970s. It shows how little they know. And then that goes all the way down. Then they have this Phase 4 Avenger logo here that was on a lot of the stores that had the 2005 remodel. And then they have this Chuck E. Cheese throughout the years. This was not here during the grand reopening. However, I saw it in January. So they have a timeline of all the different events here. That Chuck E. Cheese history. They went from 1982 to concept unification because, you know, this is a dark time for Chuck E. Cheese, you know, with the bankruptcy and all that. They didn't want to bring that up. So they went from 1982 to 1990, and that's how they handle concept unification, just by putting a picture of Tux Chuck. And then they have the Sky Tubes, Coach Chuck, and then they have the Studio C animatronic, even though that came out before 1998. Then they go through there, Ticket Blaster, Rockstar Chuck, trampolines, and then they have the grand reopening in Charlotte, North Carolina. However, this is just a stock image. They could have put a picture of Pineville, but they didn't, and you can tell because that's a 2-panel Chuck, and the one over there is only 1 panel, so that is 100% not Pineville. So there's that, and then above that they have Obstatron. They have an Avenger statue and Star Search. They have one of the Phase 3 iconic Thumb Chuck logos. I have one of those in my collection. Then they have the pizza delivery car. They have the Mount Chuckmore piece, which is only at a few stores anymore. And then here they have their memorabilia collection here of all the random stuff that they collected. Some said this stuff was donated. So you can see that. I'm going to scroll through so you can pause if you want to see anything special. I really like that statue there. Pasquale plush. Bunch of tokens. There's a picture of the band. So yeah, there's that collection right there. And then they have the Chuck E. Cheese's trolley car with PTT Chuck on it. They have the Munch scuba diving piece. There's the Beagles and PTT Chuck, and then there's a 90s, 1993 Showbiz Pizza Time ink print. They have the Elvis piece. I've seen this piece many times. Another piece I've seen many times, the Kids with Chucky piece. This used to be out in Pineville Showroom. They moved it here during 2.0. Then they have the Toddler Town sign, 500th store sign, the PTT guest stars, Madame Oink, Artie Antlers, Sally Sachet, and Foxy Colleen. Even though this wasn't a PTT, these characters were never here. I'm so glad they, gave them representation here. Then they have the coloring book thing and 2 of the 90s magazine covers, which are always nice to see. And they have a door, 2.0 stripes painted here on this wall. More booths over here, no outlet charging though. They did get new wood floors here by the drink machines, caution wet floor sign. Pepsi machines, their station sign up there, blue wall. They have the menu word mark piece, very narrow pickup window, order pickup sign pointing that way, and the pickup window sign. And then here by the front, they have the Pasquale's Kitchen sign with one of these diamond windows that I see in a lot of the former Showbizes. Pasquale's Kitchen sign, and then here they have the salad bar, which looks good. And then they have the Our Veggies Are Hand Chopped Daily sign, pizzeria and games there above the menu boards, and then U1 sign there by the prize counter. And as for plush, they have Pasquale Jasper, Chucky, Helen, Bella, all of them for the Gumball plush, and then all 4 of the small plush as well. So that's what they have for character plush. And then that is it for Pineville here, a tour of the store anyway. It's a very nice store. They have a good selection in the arcade, and of course the retro room and the 3-stage are awesome. Alright guys, now real quick, let's talk about the history of this store here on Pineville Matthews Road. So Showbiz opened this location in 1982 with the Rockafire explosion right here on these 3 stages in this spot. It hasn't changed the spot of the stage since opening day. They got concept unification in 1991, and then they turned into Munch's Make Believe Band, which is you see here behind these curtains. I forgot to mention that after concept unification in 1993, the franchisee actually closed this location, and it reopened several weeks later as a corporate-owned store, which is why on the posters and pins for Pineville, it says that it opened in 1993, because that's when corporate officially recognizes this as opening. And they expanded the store since then. They got the 2005 remodel, removing the showroom walls and all that kind of stuff, and the stage was restored in 2021, and then in 2024 it became a legacy store after the survey. So, one more time, let's watch the animatronics perform their other song that's programmed here in the show tape, I Love Sparkles, with new programming for 2025.
Bright bling bling, sparkle! I love sparkle! Give me sparkles, please. Sunlight, sparkly ocean seas. I love sparkles, things that shine. Sparkles are so pretty, glitter or a penny. Rhinestones catch the light, twinkles in my eyes. Love looking at the stars and sparkly, flashy cars. I love sparkle! Sparkle! I love sparkly things, shining, flashing, bright, bling, bling. Sparkle! I love sparkle! Give me sparkles, please. Sparkling, icy, rose, and green.
Let's sparklefy something! Socks!
Sparkle!
Rocks!
Sparkle!
Jeans!
Sparkle!
Jeans!
Sparkle!
Boots!
Sparkle!
Flutes!
Sparkle!
Refrigerators!
Sparkle!
Alligators!
Sparkle! I love sparkle! Sparkle! I love sparkly things, shiny, flashy, bright, bling, bling. Sparkle! I love sparkle! Give me sparkles, please. Shiny, flashy, Chuck E. Cheese.
Sparkles! Ooh, yeah!
One more other thing I noticed during that last performance is I noticed they added a couple more keep off stage signs to the show. One right here and then one over there on Pasquale's stage. I guess they've been having problems with kids climbing on the stage. I know Hicksville and Nanuet have that problem. Their stages are very low, just like this one. Kids can easily get up here. I know Northridge and Springfield, the stages are high. So, you know, those 2 legacy stores don't have that problem like the 3 on the East Coast here do. Okay, so one other suggestion for Pineville to fix, if anybody from Pineville's watching this, you guys have the neon sign and the TV topper plugged into the wrong outlets. The one's coming on when the other should. So if you could just switch those around so they're coming on at the right times, that would be great. Also, this isn't as big of a deal, but Chucky's star is a little to the right, I guess, if you're facing this way, so, you know, it should be centered right behind him. You know, those are the 2 biggest things I noticed on the stage. Yeah, other than that, everything looks great. I don't think random movements are on. If we go behind the curtains and look, wherever the... Yeah, Chucky's just standing still back there. No random movements anymore. So, that's something they changed, which is good. Keep the characters well maintained. That's the whole point of the curtains, you know. Then they don't have random movements on, so they're not moving around all day long. They get nice breaks, which is good for wear and tear anyway. Also to the left of the prize counter, they have the big Chucky logo. They have the max occupancy up there. And then out here, when you leave, the carpet changes. And then out in the lobby, they have a few things. They have the Have a Chucky Day green silhouette. They have the mission statement piece right there. They have the small 2.0 logo. They have no firearms allowed and the good behavior guidelines. And they still have Avenger Chuck here on the glass with 1 token sticker. And I think that is it. Alright guys, what a great visit to Pineville that was. That was much better than my last visit for many reasons. Between the curtains working, I got to see more shows, the movements are better, and I am also taking home a prize today. I'm adding another one to my Gumball plush, so now all I need is Chucky and Bella. I have the other 4 now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to be at Pineville again soon. It's one of my favorite places on earth. If you guys enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.